There have been talks between us, and I give Crawford all respect. He'll fight anyone, and that's why I see him as a great challenge. It could be Crawford, Errol Spence, whichever one is easiest to make. That's why this upcoming fight means so much. I win, and the possibilities are endless. Now, if this is not the same thing that Errol Spence Jr. was trying to tell Terence Crawford, right? Why not go the easy route and fight Shawn Porter? Because for you to say whichever fight is the easiest to make, right? Everybody knows that Errol Spence Jr. fight is the easiest to make. You're under the PBC banner, same as Errol Spence Jr. So the easiest fight to be made is Errol Spence Jr. But my thing is, you weren't in negotiation with Errol Spence Jr. You just admitted that you were negotiating with Terence Bud Crawford. So how did you even begin to negotiate with Keith Thurman? That's what I really want to know. And why, since you started negotiating with Terence Bud Crawford, and you said, you know what, I'm gonna fight Keith Thurman, which I already know that Al Heyman and Mayweather is behind that, right? Because they trying to hinder Terence Crawford from becoming, or hands down, the greatest fighters of all time. So they trying to put roadblocks in his way to try to stop that. Why not sit here and go fight Keith Thurman, then fight Terence Crawford, since you've been negotiating with him? No, you're not going to do that. Because the PBC, they already have their blueprint laid out. And that's the fight easy fights. They don't want to fight. They don't want to put their fighter in there with guys that are tough to beat. Because everybody knows that Keith Thurman is not a harder fight than Terence Bud Crawford when it comes to Tim Tszyu, right? It's definitely not a harder fight. Everybody knows that. And for people to say, oh, it's a business with the PBC, that's bad business, bro. Because you're hindering your fighter that is on top of the 154 division. You're hindering him from superstardom and more eyes, and hinder him from getting more fans from the boxing world, or getting even casual fans. You're hindering him from that, bro, because you're stopping him from fighting the #1 fighter in the world. Why? Because y'all want everything. Y'all want to dip y'all hands in the pot as much as y'all can, because it's on your side of the street. So there's no outsider to monitor what the cut is and how many percentage you get and all of that. So y'all get to take advantage of Tim Tszyu. So for the people that sit here and want to be strong advocate of the PBC, realize that they're not in the best interest of boxing, and they're not in the best interest of their fighters. They're not. They're in the best interest of how many money they can get. That's why they like to do in-house fights. Because Terence Crawford fighting Tim Tszyu would only do good for boxing. And it would only do great for Tim Tszyu. But for the PBC, how they work is, we're going to do in-house fight, and Al Heyman is going to get a cut of everything. That's how it works. He's going to get a high percentage cut of whatever. So that's the reason why they do in-house fights. And no matter if their fighters suffer, right, they're going to let them suffer, just because Al Heyman wants to be greedy. He wants to be greedy. If Terence Crawford and Tim Tszyu go to Australia, that's a big fight. There's money in that fight. There's money in that fight. Why now y'all want to put Errol Spence Jr. in the ring with Tim Tszyu when Errol Spence Jr. just got dominated? He just got dominated. He got dominated. Why would you put him in there with Tim Tszyu? What is that going to do for Tim Tszyu? When Tim Tszyu beat Errol Spence Jr., Errol Spence Jr. is going to be looked upon as damaged goods. They're going to look at Errol Spence Jr. as damaged goods. So how is that going to elevate Tim Tszyu's career, rather than fight the #1 fighter in the world right now with Terence Bud Crawford? The PBC don't believe in their fighters when it comes to Terence Bud Crawford. This is the reason why it took Errol Spence Jr. 5 years to get in the ring with Terence Crawford. So they're going to continue to do this. And this is sad, bro. This is absolutely sad. And somebody has to sit here and say something about this. Because there's no way you guys are going to allow, right, the PBC to sit here and do the same thing that they were doing at 147. They're going to freeze guys out that are dangerous to their fighters and make in-house fights and put it as a pay-per-view fight, even though you know nobody want to watch that, or nobody's going to pay for that, or nobody's willing to pay for that. Just because they want to make as much money they can and not sit here and split the pot with nobody else. Or Al Heyman, I should say. But you see, this is exactly the same thing that Errol Spence Jr. used. Why not go the easy route and go fight Sean Porter? Tim Tszyu said, why not make the fight that's easier to make and fight Errol Spence? Errol Spence Jr. was not on your radar. How did Errol Spence Jr. get on your radar after he lost? How did he get on your radar? Why is a guy that just came off of a loss that just got dominated is on your radar? That doesn't make any sense. He got dominated. That's why when Terrence Crawford said to Jermell Charlo, I don't want to face him no more. He got beat up. And he laid down like he was a bitch, bro. So that's why Terrence Crawford said it don't make no sense for me to fight him. He wants to fight the winner. So why the hell would Tim Tszyu want to go fight Errol Spence Jr.? That's not going to elevate his career. That everyone is calling damaged goods. Why would you want to fight that man? And why would the PBC want him to fight that man instead of Terrence Bud Crawford? Because they don't believe that Tim Tszyu can win, right? And they just want to make in-house fights. And they just want to take, Al Haymon want to take as much money as he can. And if he's sharing the fight with doing cross promotions, he can't do that. He can't do that. So y'all see it, bro. Terrence Crawford is not going to fight Tim Tszyu anytime soon because it's going to be the same blueprint. They're going to try to stop him from getting any one of those belts at 154. And like I said, the reason why Terrence Crawford became undisputed at 147 is because Errol Spence Jr. was not willing to go fight Keith Thurman, not knowing what Keith Thurman was going to show up, right? So he was forced to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. So if you lose to Terrence Bud Crawford, it wouldn't look that bad as you go in there and lose to Keith Thurman that's been inactive for over a year. You see what I'm saying? So that's why he fought Terrence Crawford. It wasn't like, oh, are we trying to give Terrence Crawford a shot? No, that's not why. He didn't want to go in there and risk fighting Keith Thurman because Keith Thurman is a dangerous fighter. So why not fight the guy that you were supposed to fight, right? That everybody would say that was 50-50, and if you lose to him, it's not that bad because it was a 50-50 fight. But if you lose to Keith Thurman, it's going to look bad because everybody thought you were supposed to walk through Keith Thurman because Keith Thurman's last performance weren't good, and he's been inactive for a good amount of time. So this is the blueprint now. And everybody see it now. You see that 147, and now you see Terrence Crawford attempt to move out at 154, and you see it with Tim Tszyu also. You see it with Jermell Charlo. You see it with all these guys at on the PBC side, bro. They don't want to fight. They do not want to fight. And y'all got to understand that this is their promoter talking for them, right? And when they promoters start talking for them and start having them duck fighters, they start doubting themselves and really believe like, yo, bro, can I really beat this person? Because you're putting that doubt in their head. And this is why it was mentally draining on Errol Spence Jr., right? With his whole own team sitting here, letting him duck Terrence Crawford and putting him in position to fight Terrence Crawford, right? All this time, Errol Spence Jr. has been thinking, yo, probably I'm not worthy, right? So when he went in there, that's what he was thinking, and that's why he got his ass whooped. He knew that Terrence Crawford was leagues above him, and now he figured out why they didn't want to put him in the ring with Terrence Crawford. But y'all see what I got for y'all, though. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Share this video if y'all enjoy this content. Hit that subscription button, and I'm out.